Hi everyone. I was posting on my Instagram stories today so many of my favorite things, and over the weekend my day designer arrived, my planner. So I'm going to take this time and unbox my planner, my day designer. So thank you for all the support. Whenever I post my day designer, I get a lot of comments and feedback. And for those of you who are still into paper planners in this unpredictable era we live in, this live is for you. So in 2020, it's crazy to think now we have the 2022 planners, but in 2020, having my day designer kind of turned into more like a scrapbook. So I wasn't really planning much. And now looking at how 2021 fared, I'll show you my current planner. I just really love the flagship design. You can see how the pages are and all sorts of things clipped. It basically turned into a glorified scrapbook for me again. So those of you who have followed my blog, my platform, Harlem Lovebirds, for many years know that my blog started actually as a journal. That was my inspiration, writing as a kid. I started my journal when I was 7, and Harlem Lovebirds kind of grew out of that. So going back to, I guess, analog and writing is kind of why I started using a paper planner. Well, I actually used one in middle school, but using it in college as well. But I found the day designer in 2014 when I attended Alt Summit and listened to the founder talk about her experience as a small business owner. So now the day designer has kind of become a fixture. This here is my 7th one for 2021, and I really love the design. Went to the flagship, which is the huge planner, and now I'm going to unbox the new one. So this is my first time opening the 2022 Day Designer. It always comes in this really pretty packaging, and once you open it up, it comes in a case. So I often get asked like, oh, is it too big? And what do you think? And, I've tried the mini, and I just find for what I need that the flagship, the really large planner, works really well. If you want, you can go onto the Day Designer website, which I'll link in my profile so that you can get right to the website. I highly suggest that you print out the pages and play with them, because it is, I think with shipping, it's like 75 plus depending on where you live. When all is said and done, every so often there might be a free shipping or some special holiday code if you want to wait for that. But typically this is around the time that the next year's planner that runs the calendar year comes out. There's also an academic year calendar that runs as well. And so if you want to jump in after the fact, you can usually get those discounted if you don't mind starting partway into the year after the academic year calendar comes out. So let's take a look. So the name of this design is called Blissful, and here's what it looks like. I just love how beautiful the day designer is, and there's so many different covers to choose from, and it comes with all the information you need, kind of just explaining how the day designer is laid out, and also giving you some tips on keeping it away from liquid. When you open it, use 2 hands to support it, turn the pages from the front, and all these things, to keep it in good shape. And so I leave my planner in my home office. I kind of run my life digitally, not only from being on Harlem Lovebirds and Kiana.com and all the things I do, but I use the paper planner just really to kind of track a lot of what's happening in my family's life. Color coding and all that. I don't get into stickers. I don't have a lot of time for that, but I do think the beauty of it as a journal, I use my planner more as like a tracker, a journal, scrapbook, is really beautiful. So if you want to take a comparison, this is how it comes out the box. And again, this is the Blissful print. Isn't that pretty? It's so beautiful. So this is the Blissful print, and it's actually the September free wallpaper, which is really cool. So Day Designer, when you go onto their website, you can download free wallpapers for your laptop and your mobile device. And so this is the September background, and September, of course, being my birthday month. I just turned 41 last week. I just have really enjoyed having this Blissful print so far this month on my laptop background and on my phone. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and just get the whole planner in this beautiful print. So that compares to the 2021. I went with the very simplistic almost like notebook paper design. And you'll see how fat it is because I stuffed mine and clip memories in it and put some mementos in it. So you'll see how the thickness compares. So this is a fresh Day Designer. And then this is the current one that I stuff full of all the things. So that's how I use my Day Designer. And so if you want to take a look at what the pages look like, you do get a pocket with some stickers inside. Like if you're into stickers, you can do that. Thank you for joining, everyone. So you get to put your word of the year. And for the first time, I already have my word of the year picked out really early. Last year's word of the year was align. You saw that in my stories when I showed all my Day Designers that I keep on my shelf over there. But I already have my word of the year for 2022. And I don't know what it is about being in your 40s. Like there's such clarity when I just feel like every day it's like, oh, like things are super clear. And so I already have my word of the year. I'm really excited to hit the ground running. Q4 2020 was my first time working with the coach, and she was amazing. So Clara Angelina Diaz, who's here in Boston Metro, has been great. In your Day Designer in the front, you can kind of plan out your whole year. So depending on your view, you can do that. And then each month has its own big block. So if you want to color code, you know, fill in the months and, or the letters, like sometimes I'll doodle in there, but I don't do a lot of stickers. I keep it pretty clean. But if you want to do that, there's actually a Facebook group that's a lot of fun that has a lot of tips and tricks, and you get to see how other people use their Day Designer. And I really like that group. So I would say join the Facebook group. And if you're on the fence about a planner, definitely visit the Day Designer website, again, which I'll link in my profile, and you can print out the sample pages and kind of play around with it if you want to get the flagship or you want to get the smaller version, the mini. So the flagship runs, each day runs from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And that was something else why I, really like the flagship, because it runs like a long day versus I think the mini, the day cuts a little bit short. Each day gives you a quote. So if you look at the top, you get a quote. In union, there is strength, Aesop. So that's for January 1st through 2nd. So you get a Saturday, Sunday page. Saturday, Sunday on the weekends, it's kind of smaller, it's kind of split between the two. So you get half and half. So you get your top 3 things to do each day. And then at the bottom, you get little boxes to fill in along the bottom. But when you get to your actual full weekdays, Monday through Friday, you get the full page of like all your to-dos and then just the main 3. And so something that I think the founder of Day Designer mentioned when I met her at Alt Summit in 2014, something that she mentioned that really resonated with me was that each day really plan on getting 3 things done. Everything else is just icing on the cake. So when you feel accomplished at the end of the day, you can go back and say, oh my goodness, I got these 3 things done. I wrote the thank you notes, I emailed the teacher, and I dropped off the dry cleaning. And so some days it may be that simple, or maybe you're doing bigger projects, but I just find like after 7 years, like this is a really tried and true system that works for me. And I like the simplicity of it. If you want to dress it up, you can. One other aspect that I like, your holidays are in there. The days start on Monday in the planner. They used to start on Sunday. A couple years ago, they switched that and I had to adjust. Because I usually go Sunday to Saturday. I know there's a debate. My husband and I argue about that all the time, but I've adjusted now. So here where it says this month, like apart from my digital tracker where most of everything I do is digital, I really like for all of my partnerships and things I do. So like with Kiana.com, my 3 silos as a connector, communicator, consultant. So I kind of have my 3 buckets of income. It's really nice to kind of keep a running ledger down the side of how I'm tracking for each month. And then I can go and do the more detailed accounting and stuff, of course, on my spreadsheets. But it's just a great way to jot down, like, so I can kind of see what the flow of, for each of my buckets. So for public speaking, sponsored content, and for my consulting work that I do for Trifecta Media Group. So it's a really great way to kind of have the intersection of my mom, parent life, family life, and then putting in my business life. And so it really lets you marry that all together. So that's the unboxing. Let's see, I think they usually give you a divider. There's usually a divider in here too. My old ones had one. Yep, here you go. When you get to the very front, you get a divider, a ruler. I also use the magnetic bookmarks that I get from Michaels. And so those are really fun. So I stick my magnetic bookmark. So I put one for the month of January and then I move it around for each day. But it comes with this and like with a little ruler in it. And then it really guides you through how to use it. So it's really intentional. I really like it. There's also new, almost, I guess, fabric covered, like linen print covers that are new this year that have been really popular. I've seen those rank really high when they're sharing, when Day Designer is sharing their popular covers. But this is the one I got, Blissful, for 2022. I'll link it in my profile. And thank you everyone for tuning into my unboxing. Happy planning!